Good morning, how are you, my students? I hope all of you are well. Today we will start with Unit 6, Moving Away, course book page number 68-69. Please, my students, open your course book and let's start. Here, my students, Unit 6, page number 68. What is the title of the unit, my students? Excellent. The title of the unit is Moving Away. Moving away. Moving away يذهب بعيدا أو يرحل بعيدا. Before we start, my students, I have to ask you what is the type of the text? What is the type of the text? Excellent. This is a letter. This is a letter. Letter, رسالة. Letter, رسالة. It is a written message from one person to another person. It's a written message from one person to another person. رسالة مكتوبة من شخص إلى آخر. What is the shape of the letter or the form of the letter? كيف شكل الرسالة? Here, my students, we start with the address of the writer, عنوان كاتب الرسالة, and this is the date of the letter, تاريخ الرسالة. And here we start with the word dear and the name of the person who we write to. الشخص اللي نرسل الرسالة. So we start with the address, the date, and here we have start with dear. This letter is a letter to a friend. A letter to a friend. رسالة إلى صديق. رسالة إلى صديق. The person who wrote the letter, شخص كاتب الرسالة, lived in 78 Mall Avenue, Rome, Italy. يسكن ب 78 Mall, Rome, Italy. So this is the address of the writer, عنوان كاتب الرسالة. And this is the date of the letter, تاريخ الرسالة. It's in 18th of March 2017. 18th of March 2017. Okay, my students, can you tell me from page 68 and 69 who wrote this letter? Who wrote this letter? Excellent. The writer of the letter or the person who wrote this letter is Susan. Susan is the writer of the letter. كاتبة الرسالة. Susan writes this letter. كاتبة الرسالة هي Susan. To whom? To her friend Peter. So Susan wrote this letter to her friend Peter. كتبت هذه الرسالة لصديقها Peter. And in this letter is talking about moving away from one place to another place. إنها هي كانت في مكان وأصبحت في مكان آخر. So this is a letter from Susan to Peter, to her friend Peter. Where does Susan live? Where does Susan live? She lives in 78 Mall Avenue, Rome, Italy. Okay. When does she write the letter? She writes the letter on 18th of March 2017. Okay. And here we have a picture that Susan sent to Peter. أرسلت مع رسالة picture صورة. Before we start, let's listen to the audio of this letter, and then we will understand this letter. Listen carefully, my students.
Unit 6, Moving Away. A letter to a friend. 78 Mole Avenue, Rome, Italy. 18th March 2017. Dear Peter, time flies so fast. I can't believe that it has already been a week since I moved away from Miami. I think of Miami every now and then. It was so marvelous and wonderful there. I loved playing outside all day long. I often miss Ronnie, Bob, Andy, and, of course, you too. However, I am also a little excited about living in Rome. My mother has a fantastic new job here. I have discovered that this city is delightful in its own way. Did you know that sometimes it snows here in winter? I have never seen snow. I am excited about playing in the snow for the first time. I also wonder what it will be like to play in the snow with new friends. It would be wonderful if you and I could play together in the snow someday. I have been reading up about Rome. It is a very old city, more than 2,000 years old. It is also the capital city of Italy. It has a river called Tiber. I am looking forward to exploring this new place, as there are many interesting places to see. I am keen to visit the statues and fountains. Every town square is called a piazza. How I wish you could come with me. My parents have promised me that I can visit all of you in Miami over the summer break. Once we have settled in Rome, I will also invite all of you to visit me. I'm sad to have left Miami and my friends, but perhaps moving away won't be so bad after all. I look forward to seeing you in the summer and to your visit to Rome one day. Your friend, Susan.
So, again, my students, who writes this letter? Excellent. Susan writes the letter. To whom? To her friend Peter. Excellent. Her friend Peter. Okay. Where does Susan live? Where does she live? Bravo. She lives in 78 Mall Avenue, Rome, Italy. When does she write this letter? When does she write this letter? In 18th of March 27th. Excellent. And again, this is a letter رسالة. Dear Peter, dear Azizi, dear Azizi, dear Peter. Time flies so fast. I can't believe that it has already been a week since I moved away from Miami. I think of Miami every now and then. It was so marvelous and wonderful there. I loved playing outside all day long. I often miss Ronnie, Bob, Andy, and of course you too. However, I am also a little excited about living in Rome. My mother has a fantastic new job here. I have discovered that this city is delightful in its own way. Did you know that sometimes snow here in winter? I have never seen snow. Time flies so fast. الوقت يمر بسرعة. I can't believe يصدق لا أستطيع أن أصدق that it has already been a week since I moved away from Miami. Here, my students, Susan lived in Miami in the past. Susan lived in Miami in the past, and now she lives in a new place. هي كانت تسكن في ميامي and now she lives in a new place. تسكن في مكان جديد, and we will know what is this place. So it has already been a week since I moved away from Miami. لها أسبوع رحلت من ميامي. I think of Miami every now and then. Susan missed Miami a lot. So she said that I think of Miami every now and then. هي تفكر في ميامي كثيرا. تفكر في ميامي. Think يفكر. Think يفكر. It was so marvelous and wonderful there. It was so marvelous and wonderful there. Here, my students, Susan spends a kind and a nice time in Miami. هي قضت وقت ممتع بميامي. So, it was so marvelous and wonderful. رائع. Marvelous. رائع. Marvelous. رائع. And wonderful. Here, my students, marvelous and wonderful, they are excellent adjectives. Marvelous and wonderful, they are adjectives. I loved playing outside all day long. Here again, she said and she talked about Miami. تحدث عن ميامي. I loved playing outside all day. هي تحب اللعب بالخارج طوال اليوم. I often miss Ronnie, Pope, Andy, and of course you too. Miss معناها يشتاق. Miss يشتاق. Here, Susan missed her friends, Ronnie, Pope, Andy, and of course you. Here, you refers to Peter. Susan missed her friend, Ronnie, Pope, Andy, and Peter. So, here in this paragraph, Susan talked about her days in Miami and she missed Miami a lot and also she missed her friends, Ronnie, Pop, Andy, and Peter. As we said again, Susan lived in Miami and now she lives in a new place. Now هي الآن تسكن في مكان جديد. What is this place? Let's complete. However, I am also a little excited about living in Rome. My mother has a fantastic new job here. I have discovered that this city is delightful in its own way. So, where does she live now? Susan, where does she live? Excellent. She lives in Rome. She lives in Rome. So, Susan moving away from Miami and now she lives in Rome. However, I am also a little excited. Little excited هي متشوقة. Excited متشوق. Excited متشوق about living in Rome. هي متشوقة للعيش بروم. Excited متشوق. My mother has a fantastic new job here. Has a fantastic new job. حصلت على عمل جديد. والدتها حصلت على عمل جديد. New job عمل جديد أو وظيفة جديدة. Where? In Rome. Excellent. حصلت على وظيفة جديدة. Where? In Rome. I have discovered that this city is delightful in its own way. Discovered اكتشف. Discovered اكتشف. Discovered اكتشف. That this city is delightful. Delightful مبهج. Delightful مبهج in its own way. هي اكتشفت أن هذه المدينة هي مبهجة. Did you know that sometimes it snows here in winter? Here, Susan asks Peter, did you know that sometimes it snows here in winter? تثلج في وقت الشتاء. I have never seen snow. هي لم تشاهد الثلج من قبل. I have never seen snow. So my students, I will ask some questions and try to answer me. Number 1. What is the type of the text? What is the type of the text? Excellent. This is a letter. This is a letter. Question number 2. Who writes this letter? Who writes this letter? Excellent. Susan writes the letter. Susan writes the letter. To whom? To her friend Peter. To her friend Peter. Excellent. Where does Susan live? Where does she live? Bravo. She lives in 78 Mall Avenue, Rome, Italy. When did Susan write this letter? When did she write the letter? Bravo. In 18th of March 2017. Good. The question. How do you know that Susan misses Miami? How do you know that Susan misses Miami? Excellent. From this sentence, I think of Miami every now and then. This sentence tells you that Susan misses Miami. Bravo. Which sentence tells you that Susan finds Rome to be an interesting place? Which sentence tells you that Susan finds Rome to be an interesting place? Excellent. I have discovered that this city is delightful in its own way. This sentence tells you that Susan finds Rome to be an interesting place. From this paragraph, my students, give me an adjective. From these paragraphs, give me adjectives. Give me adjectives, my students. Excellent. Number 1, marvelous. This is an adjective, marvelous. Good, wonderful. Wonderful is an adjective, wonderful. Adjective, صفة. Adjective, صفة. And fantastic, excellent, fantastic, it's an adjective. New, very good. New, it's an adjective. Delightful, delightful, very good. Delightful is an adjective. Good. What about the nouns? What about the nouns? Time is a noun, very good. Miami is a noun. Miami is a noun. And the name of the persons here, the name of the friends. Ronnie, Pop, Andy, Peter, these are nouns. And Rome, mother, job, city, these are nouns too. Very good. What about the verbs? Verbs, أفعال, verbs. Believe, very good. Believe, has, it's a verb, good. And moved, it's a verb too, فعل. Excellent. Playing, bravo, playing is a verb too. And discovered, these are verbs in this page. Very good. So, please, my students, try to read this text correctly and understand the new meanings, and in the next video we will understand the second part of the letter. Thank you.